Disney World has a million rules, but Magic Kingdom, well, they have something more like laws. Here are 10 that actually matter. Rule 1, wake before the kingdom. There was a time when getting in early actually meant something in Disney World. In the 2000s, Disney offered extra magic hours, 1 full hour in the morning or late night hours after closing, and that was exclusive to guests staying at a Disney resort hotel. It felt premium. It was premium. It also felt earned. It separated you from the crowd. But Disney slowly chipped away at that. First, they shortened the hours. Then they began replacing night perks with morning ones. And in 2021, extra magic hours were officially retired and replaced with early theme park entry. Only 30 minutes before official opening, and now offered not only to Disney hotels, but almost everyone with a hotel room anywhere near property. And here's the part that Disney will never really say out loud. Early entry isn't exclusive anymore. Well, it's probably about half the park. Disney has so many resorts and partner hotels included now that the number of people eligible to enter Magic Kingdom early is enormous. Between Disney-owned hotels and the early entry approved partners, you're looking at well over 100,000 people who qualify to walk in early every morning. Now that's across all 4 parks, but Magic Kingdom is the most popular park, and it can't even fit that many bodies on its busiest day of the year if everyone in the resorts decided to go on the same day. Yet, all of them have this same perk. So when Disney calls early entry a benefit, understand what it really is now. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's worthless, but it's definitely depreciated in value for most people because almost everyone has it now. Here's what that means for you. If you don't have early entry, you're starting behind a group large enough to fill the entire park. And if you do have it, it's not a head start because early entry only opens 2 lands, Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. That funnels tens of thousands of early entry guests into the same narrow pathways at the same time. People stop for Starbucks. People stop for castle photos. You don't. This isn't the moment to soak in the magic. This is the moment you earn it. Your job is to slip through the seams before the wave clogs the arteries of the park. One wrong stop and you join the crush piling into Peter Pan's Flight and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, where a 20-minute posted wait becomes 70 before the clock hits 9 a.m. If you want more than 1 or 2 rides before the stroller surge locks the park down, you move. No browsing, no snacks, no, but the castle. Magic Kingdom will give you magic later. Right now, it gives you one chance to outrun everyone else who thinks they got something special by waking up early at a Disney hotel. Rule 2, take the stairs. Most people enter Magic Kingdom the same way: stressed, sweating, stuck, and already behind. Not because they arrived late, but because Disney funnels them into a designed bottleneck before they even see Main Street. If you ride the express monorail to Magic Kingdom from TTC, Disney expects you to shuffle shoulder to shoulder down the main ramp with almost 400 people at once. Strollers collide, families stall, and everyone bottlenecks like cattle heading into the same chute. That's the trap. Now, here's the move that breaks it. Ride the last car of the monorail. It's gate number 12. As soon as you step out, don't follow the crowd down the wide main ramp. Look to your left. There's a staircase. Unmarked, narrow, ignored. Take it. While the masses fight their way down the main ramp, you're already headed halfway down the side stairs. No gridlock. No strangers backpacking your spine before 8 a.m. It's just a piece of infrastructure that 99% of guests overlook because they follow the crowd like they're supposed to. And here's why this matters more now than ever. With early entry flooding the park before official opening, 5 minutes is no longer a convenience, it's a defense mechanism. With early entry flooding the park before official opening, a 5-minute advantage in Magic Kingdom can be the difference between a 15-minute wait for Space Mountain and a 55-minute one. The difference between gliding into Fantasyland and getting swallowed by the first wave. The staircase doesn't change how many people get early entry. It doesn't magically empty the park, it just gets you through the door faster than the herd you arrived with, which is often the only advantage left. Most guests lose the day before they even tap in. We don't. We take the stairs.
Rule 3, this is the park to pay.
If you're only buying Lightning Lane Multipass once on your trip, this is the park you spend it on. Full stop. Magic Kingdom isn't just the busiest park, it has the most rides and attractions by a landslide. And that makes Multipass actually work here in a way it simply can't anywhere else. Multipass gives you 3 advanced Lightning Lane reservations. At Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios, that barely stretches. Why? Because those parks don't have the inventory to support the system. Magic Kingdom does. Magic Kingdom has around 25 attractions eligible for Lightning Lane Multipass. That means stacking here actually creates momentum. You're not fighting over 1 or 2 good rides. The system has enough fuel to keep paying out all day. Just so you see how dramatic this difference really is, here's the breakdown. Magic Kingdom has 25 eligible attractions for Lightning Lane reservations. Disney's Hollywood Studios has around 14. Epcot has 11. And Disney's Animal Kingdom has a whopping 8. So yes, Magic Kingdom has more Lightning Lane options than Epcot and Animal Kingdom combined. Disney does change the price per park, so they do account for that somewhat when they're charging you money, but there's only one park that really gives you enough to actually make it worth it. Here, the system multiplies your time instead of evaporating after 2 rides. Now look at how the other parks fall apart. Yeah, so Animal Kingdom only has about 8 Lightning Lane attractions total, and that includes shows. One of its only true headliners, Flight of Passage, isn't even in the multi-pass pool. It's a single pass. The value collapses instantly. You're paying full price for maybe 2 useful rides, and that's Dinosaur if it isn't closed already for its current transformation. Buying multi-pass there is like paying for an all-you-can-eat buffet, but the restaurant only serves 3 entrees. Hollywood Studios feels like it should be the one to buy, but it's sort of a trap. Yes, it has big names, but the inventory is top-heavy. Too many people chasing too few headliners. You burn your stack by noon, and then you're stuck in 75 to 110-minute standby lines for everything that's left. Epcot? Same problem. A handful of high-demand rides that sell out instantly, and a long tail of attractions that don't justify the cost of the pass. Magic Kingdom is the only park where multi-pass isn't a gamble, it's a machine. Epcot, same problem. A handful of high-demand rides that sell out instantly, and a long tail of attractions that don't justify the cost of the pass. Here's how to use it in Magic Kingdom. If you're staying in a Walt Disney World resort, you have 7 days in advance to book your first 3 Lightning Lane reservations. If you are not staying at a resort on property, then you have 3 days in advance to make those reservations. And because Magic Kingdom has so many eligible attractions, the system stays fluid. You can keep stacking after you tap in. And that's what worth it kind of looks like to me. You're riding 5, 6, even 7 headliners without touching a 70-minute standby line. You're flipping Lightning Lanes instead of chasing them, and that's only possible here because Magic Kingdom has more capacity, more variety, and more ways to win the system than any other park. If you're spending money once, spend it where it pays you back.
Rule 4, we always do the ones Walt left us.
There are a lot of rides in Magic Kingdom, but there are a few you don't skip. Not because they're the newest or the most thrilling, but because they are the ones Walt personally left us. These attractions exist because of Walt's ideas, his relationships, and the innovations he pushed into the world. And riding them is how you actually experience the park the way he intended it. This all really starts with Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. This was the first attraction to use audio animatronic characters that could move, talk, and perform in sync with sound. It opened in 1963, and without the Tiki Room proving that technology worked, the next wave of Walt-era classics would never exist. Right after the Tiki Room, Walt pulled off one of the smartest deals in theme park history with the 1964-65 World's Fair in New York. He convinced major sponsors to pay for brand new attractions for the fair with the agreement that Disney could keep them afterwards. That is how three of the most important Walt originals were born. First was It's a Small World. Pepsi sponsored this one as a tribute to UNICEF, and the message was simple. Kids around the world may live differently, but they're not as different as adults think. It was built for the fair, moved to Disneyland afterwards, and eventually became a core part of Magic Kingdom 2. It is not just a boat ride, it is one of the clearest examples of Walt using his platform to promote a message of unity. Next was Carousel of Progress, sponsored by General Electric. This is the rolling theater show in Tomorrowland that follows one American family through different eras of technology and everyday life. Walt loved this show. It's one of the few attractions he personally said should continue to run because the message of optimism and progress was that important to him. Today, you can still sit in that theater in Magic Kingdom and watch his exact vision play out the way he intended. Then came great moments with Mr. Lincoln, funded by the state of Illinois. Walt originally wanted a full show with all the US presidents, but the technology wasn't there yet, so he started with Abraham Lincoln, who became the first realistic human audio animatronic ever created. That idea eventually evolved into the Hall of Presidents here at Magic Kingdom, and to this day, Lincoln still opens the show as the piece Walt personally had his hands on. Now, two more attractions that weren't part of the World's Fair but absolutely belong in this category because Walt approved them. Country Bear Jamboree. This show was originally created for a Disney ski resort Walt wanted to build in Mineral King, California. The project got blocked by environmental and land use issues, and the resort never happened. But the Bears did. After Walt passed, the show was moved to Magic Kingdom, where it opened with the park in 1971. So even though Walt never saw it installed, he greenlit it, and it became a day one part of this park because of him. And there's one more attraction that belongs here because it's the closest thing you can ride to Walt's original vision for the future, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. This calm, elevated tour around Tomorrowland was inspired by Walt's transportation models for Epcot, the city, not the park we know today. This was the type of system he believed real cities should use to move people efficiently. The Magic Kingdom version opened in 1975, and riding it today is still one of the purest connections to Walt's vision of how the future should work. Now, here's the part that really matters. Walt never saw Magic Kingdom open. He passed away in 1966, 5 years before opening day. But his inventions, his ideas, and the attractions he personally set in motion live here. That is why we always do the ones Walt left us. These are the reason this park exists the way it does. If you want to feel Walt in this park, this is where he still lives.
Rule 5, stop crossing the hub.
Today, Magic Kingdom is not a map, it's a trap. The fastest way to lose a day is to chase rides across the park like sparks from a firework. Every time you cross a land boundary, the kingdom charges you a tax. Time, heat, friction, mood. Most people never notice when the park starts charging. They just notice when they suddenly hate each other. Here is how you keep your day from melting sideways. 1. Cluster by land. Ride what is near you: Space Mountain and Buzz Lightyear, Pirates of the Caribbean and Jungle Book, Haunted Mansion and Hall of Presidents. The kingdom rewards the ones who stay put long enough to breathe. 2. Stack your lightning lanes by geography. If the app tries to pull you across the hub, scroll. Scroll again. Hidden times are always one line lower. The system wants you to walk. Your feet want revenge. 3. Eat where you stand. You can walk a quarter mile for lunch, or you can eat at Pecos Bill because you are already in Frontierland. Food should feel like fuel, not punishment. 4. Never cross paths during parade transitions. Main Street becomes a river delta of panic. If the rope in front of you is about to drop, pivot backward into a land you already like. Forward is sometimes a trap. Backward can be mercy. 5. Treat the hub like lava after 11 a.m. Every land is trying to squeeze you through one bowl. When you zigzag, you get squeezed twice. The truth is this: people do not get tired at Disney. They get walked. They get looped. They get pulled in all directions because the castle looks visible and close from every angle. If you focus on one land at a time, you trade frustration for flow, and flow compounds. Thick crowds feel thinner. Heavy heat feels lighter. Children stop asking to be carried. Adults stop pretending they are fine. Because they are. Because it's Disney World, and this is where we go to feel good, right? Your perfect day is not 10 rides across 7 lands. It's 3 rides clustered twice and a bonus lap you never saw coming. The ones who zigzag go home early. The ones who cluster stay awake for fireworks. We do not zigzag because the kingdom is not meant to be conquered. It's meant to be experienced.
Rule 6, eat before the hungry.
In Magic Kingdom, hunger is not a feeling, it's a traffic pattern. At 12:05 p.m., every restaurant line becomes a sob story. Mobile orders pile up. Tables vanish. Patience evaporates into steam coming off the pavement. Most guests think they are tired. They are just hungry at the same time everyone else is. We do not eat when we are hungry. We eat when they are hungry. This is how we bend mealtime into momentum. 1. Eat lunch early. 10:45 a.m. is not strange here. It is strategic. I eat lunch at this time all the time. You skip the noon meltdown and finish eating just as the stroller surge wedges in front of the doors. While they wait, you ride. 2. Or eat late. 2:45 p.m. feels empty in dining. It's quiet. It's air conditioned. It's the eye of the storm. You gain seating and sanity. 3. Dinner. 4:30 p.m. or 8:30 p.m., not 6 p.m. At 6, the Magic Kingdom becomes a wall of people all looking for the same chicken nuggets. 4. Snack instead of stand. A Mickey pretzel at 3:15 p.m. is better than a long queue for food. You are buying energy without debt. 5. Never pick a restaurant you have to walk to. Food tastes worse on a sweaty half-mile detour. Eat where you are already. Restaurants close to your body are better than restaurants close to your imagination. The secret is timing. The kingdom keeps its magic for the ones who avoid the shared panic. When you are eating during their rides, you are trading one type of time for another. But when you are riding during their meals, you are stealing hours. Watch the crowd around noon. They look lost. Their children are tired. Their plans are dissolving. Lunch is not food there, it's survival. And morale is the most fragile currency in the park. We eat when others salivate because crowds do not form from hunger. They form from indecision, and indecision is how time slips out of your hand like melted ice cream.
Rule 7, outlast the quitters.
Most guests don't end their Magic Kingdom day. The day ends them. By 8 p.m., the heat is in their bones and their shoes have turned against them. That's when they start to break. They buy a last snack, shuffle towards the exits, and tell themselves they got a lot done. That's fine. I mean, let them go. Because if you want to steal the night back, you must outlast the collapse. The park doesn't empty at closing. Here's the move. And it's going back to that dinner time tip. Eat at 4:30 p.m. or 8:30 p.m., never 6:30. That peak dinner hour is when standbys surge, mobile orders clog, and the hub turns into an airport terminal with fireworks. Eat early or eat late, and you'll stand in half-length queues nobody believes exist. Watch the fireworks from the perimeter. You don't need the hub. Stand in Fantasyland near Gaston's Tavern or on the Tomorrowland Bridge. The projection view is worse. In fact, you almost can't see it at all, but your mobility is perfect. The moment the last burst cracks, you're already moving, while 15,000 people are pinned by the castle. Ride during the finale. The last 3 minutes of the fireworks are silent gold. Guests freeze, they stare. Standby drops like a trapdoor. People abandon lines to sprint outside for the finale. Get in line 1 minute before closing. The posted wait time doesn't matter. The queue doesn't close until the park does. You'll ride a headliner while everyone else is walking to the monorail. It feels illegal, but it's not. Skip the castle traffic entirely. Take the Tomorrowland bypass near the purple wall when it's open. They'll also open that hidden side street that parallels Main Street that's only open for entry into one of the holiday parties or as an exit after the fireworks. This is extremely valuable if you're coming from Tomorrowland. You can take that whole sidewalkway through Tomorrowland Terrace and straight to this neat secret exit. Do not leave right after the show. Cast members clear the hub in sweeps. Wait 15 minutes. The castle lights shift to a softer glow, and you get the photos people wanted to get all day. Empty, saturated, quiet. Magic Kingdom moves fast if you let it, and the park trains you to believe that motion equals value.
Rule 8, move slow and remember.
Magic Kingdom moves fast. Crowds pull you forward, rides pull you across lands, and the park quietly teaches you that motion equals value. But some of the most meaningful things here only surface when you stop. One of them isn't a ride, it's a glass shop on Main Street. That shop only exists because of Walt Disney himself. In the early 1960s, as Walt prepared for the 1964-65 New York World's Fair, audio animatronics had just debuted with the Enchanted Tiki Room in Disneyland. The fair became the proving ground that led to It's a Small World, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and the original Carousel of Progress. Corporate sponsorships funded the innovation, and Disney worked it out in their contract that they got to keep the attractions after the World's Fair ended. The fair also introduced Walt to two brothers from Spain, Alfonso and Tomas Arribas. Inside the Spain Pavilion at the New York World's Fair, they created intricate glass art by hand. Walt noticed their work itself drawing attention. He believed Main Street should feel handcrafted and personal, and the Arribas brothers fit that philosophy exactly. He brought them to Disneyland. Their first Main Street shop opened in 1967 inside Sleeping Beauty Castle. When Magic Kingdom opened in 1971, 5 years after Walt's death, the Arribas brothers came with it. Walt never walked this version of Main Street, but Crystal Arts still operates on a principle he insisted upon. I walk past it almost every day. For years, it was something I clocked while rushing towards a parade or a return time. Then I started going in to check on things for my work at AllEars, like the price of the Swarovski Crystal Cinderella Castle, which at the time of recording this sits at $285,000. And then one day I stepped inside and I met Scotty. There was no crowd, no performance. Scotty was working. The noise of the park fell away. He talked about his history there, about the years he'd spent creating pieces for guests. This wasn't a role, it was a craft he protected. Scotty had started in Disneyland, and when Magic Kingdom opened, he came with it. He offered to make us something custom, not a preset design, not a stock engraving, but Scotty doesn't engrave anymore. He's probably the most accomplished engraver that works at Crystal Arts, but he doesn't do it anymore. He's retired from that type of work there, but he offered to make something special just for us. Something personal, created right there at the counter by a living legend. It took minutes, but it's lasted longer than almost anything I've ever done in the park. Of course, I still have it. I keep it in the box. I should put it out on display, but it's so important to me that I keep it hidden away for safety, I guess. Fireworks are built to impress thousands of people at once, but this type of experience was built to matter to one person at a time. I left with a piece of glass that cost less than... I remember it more clearly than nearly any ride. It's etched on my heart. And that's the rule here. Magic Kingdom rewards guests who move fast, but those who slow down we might get the real prize.
Rule 9, be entertained or else.
People treat the entertainment in Magic Kingdom like it's optional, like something you watch if you happen to be walking by. They forget that Walt didn't build a theme park around rides. He built a place where stories would move, where music, characters, and color weren't background, they were the heartbeat. If you rush past the entertainment here, you're hollowing out the part you came for. At some point in the afternoon, the air shifts, the music lifts, cast members start clearing the street, and little kids start craning their necks because they feel it before they can see it. Festival of Fantasy doesn't sneak into the park, it claims it with fanfare. Sometimes it rolls once a day, sometimes twice, sometimes at noon, sometimes mid-afternoon, depending on the season. But whenever it comes, the whole park stops to tell you a story. You see the characters you grew up with move right past you, not trapped on a screen, but alive in the streets of the kingdom. It's the moment where the fairy tale walks out of the book and down Main Street, and the child in you refuses to stay quiet. Then, in front of the castle, the place where every kid draws their picture of Disney, Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair unfolds like the most classic, old-school kind of Disney entertainment we still have. Costumes, dancers, live performers. The joy isn't just piped in or pre-recorded. It's right there in front of you, nothing between you and the magic. There is only one castle stage show, and skipping it because you were making good time is the emotional equivalent of walking out of a wedding reception before the first dance. And then there are the moments you don't plan for. The ones that you feel like the park decided to perform just for you. Cavalcades slipping through without warning. A float turning a corner and a character you haven't seen since childhood. They're brief, loud, colorful, and somehow more intimate than a full parade because there's no buildup, no crowd control, no waiting an hour on the curb. Magic just arrives right beside you, and then it's gone. And you're left grinning with a popcorn kernel stuck in your teeth. But the kingdom doesn't only sing in big moments. Its pulse is strongest in the corners. The Dapper Dan's harmonizing on the curb. The Casey's Corner pianist laughing through a ragtime medley like he's playing for old friends. The Main Street Philharmonic bringing brass band joy that hits you in the ribs. These are 5-minute memories that last 5 years or more. They're the breath in the middle of the day that reminds you why you cared about Disney in the first place. And at night, the page turns. You can ride every ride in this park, you can nail a perfect day on paper, but if you have not stood in Magic Kingdom and felt a nighttime spectacular hit you in the chest, you did not experience the park, you just visited it. When Disney Starlight debuted, people cried not because it was new, but because it felt like something we thought was lost forever. The lighting, the music, the atmosphere, the way Main Street seemed to glow from the inside. It felt like the magic was breathing again. Like the spark remembered who it was. This is the secret that most guests will never learn. These shows are not breaks between rides. They are the reason the rides mean something. Walt believed the park had to live, that it had to sing, dance, march, and meet you before you even realized you needed it. Entertainment was the soul, the movement, the part that made you feel like you stepped inside a story instead of stood in a square. If you skip the entertainment, the parades, the castle show, the cavalcades, the music on Main Street, the nighttime spectacular, you might go home with more ride counts, but less Disney. The kingdom doesn't remember how many attractions you checked off, it remembers what you felt. Be entertained, or you'll miss Magic Kingdom.
Rule 10, you have squatters' rights.
The night is not over when the fireworks end. That's just when everyone else thinks it is. And if you leave with them, you're signing up for the single least magical part of a Magic Kingdom day. The herd, the shoulder-to-shoulder shuffle down Main Street, the stroller gridlock at the exit tunnel, the mile-long line for the monorail. Oh, it switches back so many times. Don't avoid at all cost. The boat ramp packed to capacity, the bus queues that look like a music festival without the music. But here's the truth. Main Street USA stays open for about an hour after the posted park closing time. The lights stay bright, the background music plays, the PhotoPass photographers might linger, and the shops keep ringing up sales. Disney built the exit path through a mall on purpose, and that works in your favor. So here's the move. When the fireworks end, do nothing. Sit, breathe, let the wave go, grab a bench close to the hub, and watch families take their last castle photos of the night. Wander into the Emporium or the confectionery, not to shop necessarily, unless you want to, but to stall with intention and use the nice air conditioning. You're buying time, not necessarily merchandise, but honestly, there's a lot of really great stuff out right now, and I am having to hide my wallet for myself. Because about 20 to 30 minutes after closing, the park transforms, the crowd thins, the pathways reopen, cast members sweep, but there's not necessarily a rush. The castle sparkles, the music softens, and you get this quiet, golden version of Main Street that feels like it's just for you. And it's not a hack, it's allowed. Disney transportation keeps running until the last guest is out of the park. You will not get stranded. You can spend your final hour at Magic Kingdom one of two ways: standing in a packed line surrounded by overtired kids and frustrated adults, or walking slowly down an almost empty Main Street with a snack in your hand, taking in the lights like it's your own private goodbye party. One of those feels like a commute. The other feels like a memory you'll think about for the rest of your life. End the right way. Disney wants you to remember it, not the way the crowd forces you to. Stay, linger, take the long way out. That last hour is the part that feels like magic, and most people never experience it because they run for a bus. Don't run for the exit with the rest of the herd. This is your castle.
If you made it to the end, go ahead and put this password in the comments below. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. And why not turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when myself or one of my friends puts out a brand new video, something we do all week. Why? Because we're serious about fun. See you next time.